Yeah, she said. Okay. Uh, we're up to where we're up to. Right? Sadik Beis Amid Beis. Okay, we began the sugya of Pesach Sheni. We said a person is tamei b'derech v'chayka. We said lav dafka is it tamei b'derech v'chayka. We can even include today even ben mezid a person is entitled to Pesach Sheni. It's not like he lost out. And, we're going to see this machlokes. There's two dinim Pesach Sheni. We'll have three machlokes Pesach Hashem Yisbarach, and we'll see. We saw machlokes yesterday between Rav Nachman and Rav Sheshes. A person who's derech v'chayka and he sends a carbon, is it accepted or not? According to Rav Nachman, yeah. I mean, derech v'chayka is Hashem feels bad for you, but if you do it, great. And Rav Sheshes says no, it's like you like Tommy, you're out, and therefore we won't accept it. That was machlokes yesterday between Rav Nachman and Rav Sheshes. So up to the bottom to understand the sheet of Rav Sheshes again. What did Rav Sheshes say? That if you send your carbon Pesach, well, if you're derech v'chayka, it's lo yichurtza, it's not accepted. Says the Gemara. Amar Rav Sheshes, no, I mean Allah. How do I know this thing that it's not accepted? The Tanya. Rabbi Akiva Omer. Nema tamei v'nema b'derech v'chayka. Again, it says both. It says tamei and it says derech v'chayka. Ish asher tamei asher b'derech v'chayka. Those two people. Now we can compare tamei to derech v'chayka. Ma tamei shesikuk biyadei lasais. A tamei who has the capacity in his hands to go ahead and do it. But he can't. In other words, tamei is, if it wasn't for the fact he was tamei, he would be able to do it, correct? Right. So therefore, after Rechoka Nami, even a person there Rechoka, Shesipik Biyade Lasoi, who has the capacity to do it, meaning he has the capacity to send it, also the Eina Oiseh. The same as tamei. In other words, it's not a physical limitation thing. It's we just won't let you. A tamei, you physically can bring it. The halacha says you can't. Derech v'chayka, you physically can send it. The halacha is you can't. The halacha is you can't. That's Reb Sheshes. But Rav Nachman said no. That derech v'chayka you send, we'll accept it, right? Rav Nachman, what does Rav Nachman do? What does Rav Nachman do with the comparison to tamei? 1 second. What does Rav Nachman do with the comparison to tamei of Reb Sheshes? Rav Nachman Amalach Rabbi Akiva tamei. This is Rabbi Akiva according to his Shita. The Amar ein shoichtim v'zorkin al tamei sheretz. Now, guys, tamei sheretz means you go to the mikvah, you wait for Herav Shemesh, and you're good, right? So it's a physical possibility. Yet, says Rabbi Akiva, ein shoichtim v'zorkin. So who I did what? Derech v'chayka. I could do it, but I won't let you. So Rabbi Akiva, he is the one who compares tamei to derech v'chayka to tamei sheretz. We're in fact physically able to. We won't allow it. However, I Rav Nachman, what do I hold? But I must feel like Kimandiyama. I hold like Ula. It's machlekes Rav and Ula. I hold Kimandiyama. Shayachim b'zarkin al tamei sheretz. The fact is, since by the time the evening comes around, you would be available and okay. So too, derech v'chayka available and okay. Yes, what's your question?
How do you compare tamei and tamei? If the guy's standing right here, you can't bring it. Chayka, he's standing right here.
But he's not derech v'chayka.
But he's not.
I'm saying
No.
They're two different.
They're the same. They're the same pasuk, and the same pasuk is describing two people with two scenarios, and we're getting a common issue. Derech v'chayka, tamei. What's the common issue? That if mitzias they could get it there. Now, according to you, he's not derech v'chayka. He's right there.
Right, but I'm saying, but it's,
But is no. Remember, I told you that. But is no. I'll tell you that. Right, but right, but I tell you something, and then you disagree. So it's no. I said just for the record, I like doing that. From me. In other words, it's not derech v'chayka. Like you're saying in your mind, you see a difference between halacha and a guy who's okay by halacha, he just doesn't have to be here. And the answer is the fact that Torah puts together, they're finding the tzad hashava between them, right? Okay, you good? Okay, great. Torah Rabbanan. Elu she'oisen as hasheni. These are the ones that go ahead and bring the Pesach Sheni. Hazavim. Again, that's a male zav. Hazavos, female. Mitzorayin, males, females. Nidos, uboile nidos. Someone who's boiling nidos, tummy for 7 days. All in the same parsha. The hayoledes, right? hashoygin v'hanusim v'hamezidim, right? The tamei ushayiv derech hachoika. In other words, that's a pretty comprehensive list. Yeah, the Torah, we only said two things. Okay, lama nema tamei, lama nema says lama nema tamei. Why are you saying tamei? If everyone is in the ballpark of Beis Sheni, why are you single out tamei? Lama nema, I'll tell you why. The boy lemeva b'rishon l'shavkinale. If he wants to do it in the rishon, we won't let him. That's what it's. No, I need it for itself. That's why you told me that. Ella, that's not the kasha. Elam Cain, if you're going to include all these zavis, mitzvahs, you let this tell me. Lama nema b'derech chayka. Why do you say derech chayka? The answer is lepoitroy min hakaris, to pat him from karis if he doesn't go ahead and bring it. Ukimandi ama churtzu. And like the Mandi Omar who says that what? Like Rav Nachman, as opposed to Rav Sheshes. In other words, we saw yesterday in Machlokes Rav Nachman Sheshes, if you send the Pesach Sheni. Again, I'm speaking it again for the third time this evening. Says Rav Nachman, it's accepted. Says Rav Sheshes is not accepted. Good. Now, how do you know this brisa goes according to Rav Nachman and not Rav Sheshes? Because in Cain, why does it say there for Chayka? If it's well like Rav Sheshes, the obvious answer is to teach me that if you send it, it's no good. But the Gemara didn't say that. The Gemara didn't say the reason why you tell me derech chayka in Cain is because it's no good. It said to teach me that you put them from Karis, which is the Rav Nachman's din Hurtza. It's accepted, and you don't have to bring Pesach Sheni. Meaning you're Yoitzi Yechiv of bring Karim Pesach, and you won't be Mevatel the assay of Karis. Because again, if it was like Rav Sheshes, it's an obvious answer. You know why you say derech chayka? I'll tell you why. Because everything else, if you do it's okay. Derech chayka, if you do, it's not okay. But we didn't say that. We didn't say everything you do, derech chayka is not okay, because it's not going to Rav Sheshes. It's going to Rav Nachman that it would be okay. If the only nafkamina would be what if we chayv karas or not. Kamadiyam hurtza. Fred the Gemara, you just told me that an isha is in the ballpark of what of Pesach Sheni. You just went through a whole list. Saviv, Savois, Mitzarayim, Mitzara'is, Baile Nida, Nidais. You just included a bunch of women in this halachas. Says the Gemara, Isha b'sheni mi mechayva. Is a woman b'sheni, is she really chayiv? But Tanya, Yochel, I would think, lo yehei oisin, es hasheni. Lo yehei oisin hasheni, ela tamei nefesh, u'shahayi b'derech chayka. Who's the only one who brings it? The ones that it says explicitly in the Torah. The ones who are tamei nefesh, or derech chayka. Now, tamei nefesh is mashma what, guys? Tamei tomas meis. Guys, yes? Tamei nefesh, mashma tamei tomas meis. Good. So I would think the following: the only people who bring Pesach Sheni are the two that are explicitly stated in the Torah. Sovin with Saroyan. Boylein nidois minayin. Notice, guys. What do you notice?
No women.
There you go. No women, right? No women. Sovim with Saroyan. Boylein nidois. All men. Minayin tamalema ish. So it says ish. Mashma ish hashayi b'derech chayka. So you have a stira. You just told me that women are in the ballpark of being Pesach Sheni. Here, clearly, it just says only men, right?
You say that Pesach Sheni, to bring the Pesach Sheni, you have to be part of the family. Meaning, the husband brings it and has a mind, his wife.
The Pesach Sheni would be whether we saw again. We saw earlier whether women are mechuyev Pesach Sheni. We had 3 machlokes. According to 2 opinions, one she's mechuyev the same as man. That's Rabbi Yossi. One, she could be part of the Chabur, like you're saying, according to Yehuda. And Rav Shimon said, not at all. That was yesterday's Gemara, right? Those 3 shittas. So says the Gemara. So now we have what's a steer, guys? Our first brisa says, what? Women are in the ballpark of Pesach Sheni. Second brisa says, Zovim, Mitzrayim, Bailei Nidais. It doesn't say women. So what's the answer? This one's according to Rabbi Yossi. So Rabbi Yossi says women are in the ballpark. The other one's according to Rabbi Shimon and Rabbi Yehuda. Says like Kasha or Rabbi Yossi. The Brisa that says women are in the ballpark of Pesach Sheni, that's Rabbi Yossi, who said there's no difference between Pesach Rishon and Pesach Sheni vis-a-vis women. Or Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Shimon, who said that women, but they both told that women are out of the ballpark. Rabbi Shimon said totally. Rabbi Yehuda said only she's part of Chabur. Okay, now I of course Kidarki B'Kodesh. I only made a few sheets because I never expect anyone to come. So, and then I find him lying on the table. I say, who needs my name lying on the table somewhere? So therefore, open up your Zoom. Okay, if you have a phone, zoom into the share and you'll have it on your phone. Okay.
This is thing, Paul.
What?
This is something.
Yeah.
Look at my doma that says Mazer.
you go to Pesach Sheni,
Yes,
right? Mazid go to Pesach Sheni. So when he was Mazid, he's Chayav Karis.
correct.
So when
Hang
he
on, hang on,
brings,
hang on, hang on there. Hang on
it's like an essay.
there.
Then
Hang on there. Okay, guys, we're going to go through the Gemara. Okay, you have the Zoom account? Yeah, so go in there. Don't be lazy, or else it's like you have the paper and you have the phone. You have the paper. Chaim, you're good. Chaim, come on. Make believe in Aruba. Let's go. Drink a little pina colada. Let's go. Come on. Mandy, you have the. If you don't look at the paper, I'm taking it away from you. Okay. Go ahead, Mandy, I'm gonna take it away from you. Okay. And then I'm gonna put you in the corner. Okay. So now.
hiding in his mask.
Okay. Okay, guys. 3 sheetas. Look at it going down the right axis. Rebbe, Reb Nosson, and Reb Chananya ben Kavi. Good. You see, guys, you all can see it, right? 3. Now, I put across the top Rishon, Sheni, the reason, and the limud of the pasuk. We're going to go through the whole kit and caboodle. You ready? Okay. Now, Rebbe says Yechayev Rishon Karis and the Sheni Karis. Obviously, that'll be 2 different people, because if it's the same person, you can't be chayav karis twice. So, in other words, there's a chi of karis if you don't bring the first Pesach, and it's a chi of karis if you don't bring the second one. It doesn't mean the same guy. It can be 2, or the guy could be a shoygeg in the first, right, and a mason in the second. But in other words, there's a chi of karis individually for both. That helps you out. There's a chi of karis individually for both. That's Rebbe. Rabbi Nosson, he's of the opinion, in the Rishon there's a chi of karis, in the Sheni you potter. In the Sheni you potter. If you don't bring the Sheni, you'll be potter. And what's the reason? Okay, we'll get to the reasons in a second. Rabbi Chananya ben Kavi says, you potter. Rabbi Chananya says the following. He says that you're potter in the Rishon if you bring the Sheni. That's what I wrote in the second column. In other words, the Sheni is a tikkun for the Rishon. So if I fail to bring the Rishon and I bring the Sheni, it's metakin that. Conversely, if I don't bring the Sheni, I'll be mechayev karis for the Rishon.
Right, the first one.
Again, correct.
You have a choice.
Again, well, you really don't have a choice. I mean, you blew it. You're shipping Pesach Rishon, but you're not chayev karis if you. Okay, so now, what's the reason behind each one? So Rebbe holds that Pesach Sheni is the regel b'fnei atzmai. In other words, there's Pesach Rishon and there's something called Pesach Sheni. Pesach Sheni, eat matzah, eat maror, roach the carbon Pesach. Yudalit Iyar is a yontif. Memela, just like Yudalit Nisan to yontif, Yudalit Nisan, and just like by Rishon Yechayev. Okay, now we don't have a source for the chorus of Sheni. We'll have to see the source, the chorus for the Sheni. Now, Reb Nosson says that the second one is a tashlumin for the first. The second one is a tashlumin for the first, meaning it's not matakin the first, but it's a tashlumin for the first. And if the tashlumin, you can't be chayiv karis. In other words, it doesn't have its own identity. It's only tashlumin. If it's only tashlumin, I can't be chayiv karis with neatzmoi. I can't be chayiv karis on a tashlumin. In other words, I did an avera. I didn't bring out the first one. I'm chayiv karis for that. But you can be mashlim the chiv to bring a carbon pesach by bringing the second one. But to be chayiv karis for tashlumin, you can't. And Reb Chananya ben Akavi says no. It's not a tashlumin. It's a menatek. It's like a lavanitik lasei. In other words, the bringing of the carbon sheni will be metaking the fact that you didn't bring the carbon rishon. So these are the different sheetas. Now, guys, we're all good. We're on the same computer, right? Here we go. Now, what's the reason? So look at the pasuk. Look at here's the pasuk. The pasuk says, "For ish ashehu tahar." I didn't write the whole pasuk out. Then, "Uvarishin ashehu tahar," a person who's tahar. Ubederach lehaya. So this is speaking about what? Pesach Rishon, guys. Pesach Rishon. He had no excuse whatsoever to go ahead and miss anything. He was tahar. He wasn't b'derech rechayka. The chada lasais haPesach, and he doesn't bring the carbon Pesach Rishon. He doesn't bring it. Then v'hanichvasa hanefesh hahu me'amecha. This person will die. He'll get kares. Got it? So we have a pasuk that states explicitly, if you don't bring the carbon Rishon, you're finished. Now, Ki hikriv Hashem, right? Loi ki karmin Hashem loi hikriv b'mayadai. Ki can be used, guys, one of four ways. Here we're using it to mean if. So now it's a whole new clause. The pasuk is saying something totally different. Ki, if Korban Hashem loy hikriv b'mayadai, and if he doesn't bring the Pesach Sheni, Chata Yisa Ha'ishahu, this guy's going to be carrying his chait, and guess what? That chait is going to carry. We can learn out from Pesach Hashem. It's going to carry kares. So you have a pasuk stating kares twice, guys. Watch the way Rabbi learns the pasuk. Very, very geshmak. A person who asher who tahar, it doesn't bring Pesach Rishon, says explicitly, he's finished. Now, new clause, ki karbin Hashem, if the karbin Hashem, if, the key is if the karbin Hashem, he doesn't bring in its right time, meaning he doesn't bring Pesach Sheni, then cheta yisa, he'll carry his chait, and we're going to learn out that chait is kares. So now you look across the board, guys. Rabbi says, you have kares for the Rishon, you have kares for the Sheni. Beautiful, yes? Next. Reb Nosson says, kares pata tashlumin. Here's the way he teaches the pasuk. You know why, v'nichrasa, guys? You know why? Ki karbon Hashem lo hikriv. Because he didn't bring the first carbon. It's read as one clause, not as two separate psukim. The key is not if, the key is because. It's connected back to the first clause. The first clause. You know why it's chayiv kares? Because he didn't bring the Pesach Rishon. That's why it's chayiv kares. Yeah? Therefore, what? The sheni is just the tashlumin for that, and therefore there's no kares by the sheni. Rav Chananya? Yeah, absolutely. He still gets kares for the first one. Now, the way Reb Chananya learns, he learns the following. He's going to get kares. You know why? If he doesn't bring the carbon of Hashem, he darshans it like Rabbi, but he learns that it's going back on the previous clause. It's not a separate clause. You know why he's going to get, when he's going to get kares? If he doesn't bring Pesach Sheni, he'll get kares. But if he brings Pesach Sheni, he's good. Those are the three ways to dash from the pasuk, the three different sheets. Okay? But if he doesn't bring the second one, he's chayiv kares. That's what it says on the sheet, right? He says kares if he doesn't bring it. There you got it in front of you. Guys, good?
What kind of tashlumin is if he gets caught anyway?
There's tashlumin is to takanam ending. Tashlumin means Pesach Sheni is not a carbon by itself. It's a tashlumin for a person who didn't be Pesach Rishon. It doesn't correct the fact that you're getting malchus, getting kares. You're going to get kares, not you. One will get kares. But I'm saying that it's a tashlumin, meaning it's not a little bit from the atzma. It's not its own separate entity. Your pshat is the third pshat. It's a tikkun. There's a difference between a tashlum and a tikkun. Tashlumin means I want to be yaitz to the mitzvah. I'm punished, but I want to be yaitz to the mitzvah. It's a tashlumin for the mitzvah. Punishment, you get punished. But it's not menakik the avera. Right, you can't fix that. You got it? You good? Guys, we're all good? Let's see it inside. Okay, says the pasuk. Tam Rabbanan. Chayiv kares al Rishon v'chayiv kares al Sheni. Dear Rabbi. Now again, that's speaking about two different people, right? Or it's speaking about you were shagging in the first and Nazir in the second. If Nasanama chayiv kares al Rishon upatar al Sheni, and Chanai ben Akavayma afal al Rishon and chayiv kares elim kain lo yoses Hasheni. You'd only be chayiv. Bozla Tamayo. They all go according to the reasonings. The Tanya. Gershon is guy ben Shnei Pesachim. Again, that's the guy between two norths. He was in the ballpark of Pesach Rishon, and he is in the ballpark of Pesach Sheni because he's a Jew. The Chen Katan much more common. Shehigdal ben Sheni. His birthday is between ben Sheni Pesachim. His birthday is between Yudal Nisan and Yudal Iyar. Chayiv lasos Pesach Sheni. Divrei Rebbe. Why? Why would he be chayiv do Pesach Sheni, guys? You know why? Because Pesach Sheni has nothing to do with Pesach Rishon. It's a regal by itself. Reb Nosson no. Culture zakik l'rishon, zakik l'sheni. Anyone who does the rishon does the sheni. In this case, what? The cotton was not mechuyev in the rishon, it's not mechuyev in the sheni. And kol sheni is zakik l'rishon, is zakik l'sheni. But my kanifli, what's the svaras hamachloikus? You guys know it. Rebbe Saba sheni regal b'fnei atzmehu. Rebbe holds the sheni is a regal by itself. Memela, since it's a regal by itself, therefore it's chayiv kares. Reb Nosson Sava Sheni Tashlum the Rishon who, right? Tikkun Rishon Limatakin Mendi. It can't be matakin it, but it's tashlum for it, right? But it's not by itself, and therefore you can't be chayiv kares the chalein. Good, and Memela, he would also hold that what? That you're not chayiv, right? You wouldn't have to bring the second one, correct? You wouldn't have to bring it. Rabbi Chananya ben Kavasava Sheni takanta the Rishonu. The Sheni is a takana for the Rishon. The Sheni is menatek, and therefore you would not get a chayiv kares unless what you. Okay, guys. Now we're going to go through the Pesukim again. We're going to go through the Pesukim the way Rabbi went through it, the way Rabbi Nosson went through it, and the way Rabbi Chananya went through it. Okay, so let's see it. The Shlosh Mikroecha Darshu. Here's Rabbi's drasha. Again, guys, what's Rabbi's drasha? The key is if, and it's two separate clauses. Correct. The first part of the pasuk. He was tahar, meaning he was totally mason. Now he was tahar. And he was not on the way. Rabbi Savar v'chodol a pesach v'nichbasa. Why? Because he didn't do pesach rishon. Now, second part of the pasuk. Inami korban Hashem lehikriv mayadai v'sheni. And when he said ki korban Hashem lehikriv mayadai, that's the second clause, and that's speaking about pesach sheni. Now. Guys, what don't you have by that pasuk? You don't have this lashon of chorus by the second lashon. Rabbi says you chayiv chorus on both. Where does Rabbi know you chayiv chorus on what? On Pesach Sheni. Shteinishin pasuk. It doesn't say it in the pasuk. He's going to learn the Gzeir Shava. Umay cheta yisa chorisu. How do you know cheta is a yisa is chorus? Says Marcus Sava. He holds megadef hainu mevarich. Megadef is mevarich. In other words, when it says megadef, that's birchas Hashem. That's a euphemism for not saying the right thing, doing a terrible avera. Uksiv Mavarech, someone who's Mavarech HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It says V'nosei Chetoi. It says the word Chetoi. V'gomer Hai Chetoi Dahacha Me Chetoi Dahasam. We learn out the Chet. It says Chetoi Yisa by the carbon sheni. It says Chetoi. We learn out from the Chet. It says by Mavarech Hashem. Mala Haon Mavarech Hashem Karis Afkanami Karis. So therefore, in the pasuk, guys, when it says Ki Carbon Hashem Lehikriv Ube Cheta Yisa means Chetoi. That his chet by Korban Pesach is Sheni is the same chet as by Mavarachas Hashem. And just like Mavarachas Hashem is Nisakaris, so too is Nisakaris. So that's Rabbi Shita. After we learn both ways. Okay. The Rav Nosson Savar. Rav Nosson says no. We learn the key as because. The Chodal Lasos says the Rav Nosson Savar. The Chodal Lasos a Pesach. You stop doing the Pesach, you'll get karetz. The high key loshin deha. The key is loshin delahu. It's the loshin of what? Because. Here's the way you read it. You know why this guy gets karetz? Why? The korban Hashem lehikriv. Because he did not bring the Pesach Rishon. He didn't bring it. Now, according to this, what does Rav Nosson do, guys, with the cheta yisai? Well, what does he do with that? He says, Megadef lav hainu mevarachas Hashem. He says Megadef is not mevarachas Hashem. And he learns the chetay over there from the chet over here. Mahacha karis, just like over here, it's speaking about Pesach Rishon, it's Nisa karis. Av hasam, so too by Megadef, it's karis. Guys, there's a question what exactly Megadef means. It's machlokes. Does Megadef mean loyalenu, someone who's mevarachas Hashem? It's a euphemism for some saying something that's not nice. Okay. There's another way that it's you're doing avodah zarah. You're megadef if you're singing to avodah zarah. How do you if you sing you're mishamash avodah zarah you have karis? Because it says over here the word chetay and it says karis over here. So instead of learning from mevarachas Hashem to Korban Pesach, we're learning the opposite. We're learning Korban Pesach and Mevarachas Hashem. Because here Korban Pesach is not speaking Pesach Sheni, it's speaking only about Pesach Rishon. And by Pesach Rishon it speaks out Karis. So I'm learning the Karis by Pesach Rishon to the Chetoi over here to the Chet over there. It's a reverse Gezeir Shava. We're not learning from Mevarachas Hashem to here, we're learning from here to the Megadef over there. Because it's not Mevarachas Hashem.
One punishment for another punishment. You learn that after that.
What?
Say the Kodesh. For a punishment like Kodesh, you have to say the Kodesh. That's the Kodesh.
I think you're mixing guys. Is it possible you're learning Ein Shemen Adin?
Yeah.
That's Kal V'chomer. It's Kser Shava. Okay, now.
But,
Okay,
but,
no but.
you have no idea how tame he is. This is almost 30 years
oh
in.
my gosh.
Man, we tame him. Oh man, he used to have fire coming out of his ears.
And you meant
No,
Not me, not me.
no,
No, not me.
Mandy was.
That's just-
We used to call him Mandy the angry kite. Now he's like a doll. He's like a Cupid doll now.
Retired now.
He's a retired kite. Anyway, all right. His Chavrusa died. Uncle Elliot.
Yeah.
Okay, says the Gemara. Now one more case.
Protection.
Reb Chananya ben Akashia Savar, v'chad alasos haPesach v'nichrasa. He says you're stopping the Pesach v'nichrasa. E korban Hashem lehikriv. E means what? If he doesn't bring it. But guys, it's not a separate clause. It's a condition. When are you chayiv koris for Pesach Rishon? If I don't bring Pesach Kishmak, right? And you know the Gemara now because we cheated, right? We got you in there. But it goes Kishmak. It goes Kishmak. It flows. E korban Hashem lehikriv moyadai b'ksheni. Now, what does Reb Chananya do with it? The same with limud. Like we said, Megadev is not Mavarech as Hashem, and I needed to learn the chorus from there till the chorus of Megadev. Hilkach. Now, let's just fear guys, okay? Keep your trot out, and everything's going to be good. Watch this. Hizid bezel bezeh. If you're amazed, Pesach Rishon, Pesach Sheni. What's the halacha? Divrei Hakol chayiv. You're going to be chayiv chorus. Either what for the first one or the second one, guys. According to Rabbi Pashit, correct? According to Rabbi Nassim, right? And according to Rabbi Chananya, you didn't do the second. So everyone's going to hold you get chorus. Good. Next, shogeg bezel bezer. Divrei Hakol pata. You be pata from chorus. The shogeg, you're not you bring a chatas, right? Next, hizid berishain. You were amazed in the rishain. The shogeg b'sheni. So therefore, l'Rebbe ul Reb Nassim, you get look at the chart. You'll get chorus. However, according to Chananya, since you were shogeg takani, you won't get chorus. Good. Now. Reb Nassim mechayev. Reb Chananya ben Akav Pata. How about this one? Shogeg b'rishain v'hizid b'sheni. You were shogeg in the rishon. You were amazed in the sheni. LeRebbe chayev. According to Rebbe chayev, because you be chayev guys for Pesach Sheni. You be chayev. Reb Nassim Reb Chanina ben Akav Pata. Why? Because you're not chayev for Pesach Sheni. So in other words, you just feared the machloekes how it fits in. Very good, shmach. Yeah, very good.
We're too old to get a new sheet.
Yeah. I made it twice. I made it first in pencil, it didn't come out. Okay. Ezi derech rechaika. Now we said that derech rechaika. What is exactly when it says derech rechaika? What does it mean? How far do you have to be, or maybe you don't have to be that far at all? Ezi derech rechaika. What exactly is derech rechaika? Min hamodiim ulachutz. Kimidasa lechol ruach de Rebbe Akiva. From Yerushalayim to Modiin, we're going to see is 15 mil, and if you draw a circle around there. In other words, anywhere that's 15 mil from Yerushalayim would be considered derech rechaika. Anything that's 15 mil from Yerushalayim would be considered derech rechaika. A mil's 2,000 amos. Right? So, how much is 2,000 amos? I don't know. I have it written down somewhere. You have an art scroll. Let's look at art scroll. You have an art scroll? That looks like an art scroll.
Yeah,
I don't know. I wouldn't know. I got the Vilna. Okay, now. So Modiin lechutz kimidas l'chol to Rebbe Akiva. Rebbe Eliezer says this is a big kiddush. May askupes hazaru l'chutz. Anything outside the Azara. In other words, if you're inside the Azara, then you're not derech rechaika. If you're outside the Azara, that's derech rechaika. Amalei Rav Yosi lefikach in the shita of Rav Eliezer, guys, in the Torah, on the word rechaika, on the hay there's a little dot. There's a little dot. Lefikach naked al hay loymar loymifnei sherachik vadai, not because you're a distance away. Ella may a scoop is ha'azara lechutz. It means from the scoop of the azar to the outside. That's why there's a little nakuda there to go ahead and tell you there's something different. Don't take it literally. Don't take derech rechaika literally. It doesn't mean literally. What?
It says it's 3,150 feet. Is It's,
2,000 amas.
3,666 feet.
1 mil is what?
3,150 or 3,780.
1 mil.
3,000 amas.
Yeah. Okay, so you'll be going to do the math, Mendy. You're going to get out the odometer on the truck, and we're going to do it. Ama Ula, says Ula. No, say, Ama Ula, min hamoidin liyushalayim chamisha esrei million. It's 15 million. Now, it's 15 every now. Havisabala kihoda because he held kihoda ama Rabbi Baruchana ama Rabbi Yochanan kam mahalich adam b'yayim. How much can a person walk during the day? Is asar parsais. Now a parsa is a asar parsais. A parsa is 4 mil. So 10 would be 40 million. Okay, 40 million. So 40 times 3,700 feet. You do the math. Okay. So now, how do you get now? How do you figure 15, guys? The following: from Alois until Nate's Chamish Mili, you could work 5. Mishkiyat Zachama Be'etzei Sakechovim is Chamish Milim, is 5. So now that's 10 altogether. From 40 minus 10 is 30. Pashulei for the day itself, again, from the time from Nate's until Shkia is Tilsa. You have Tilson is 30. So that 30, Chamisa Mitzafel Lepaga Yuma, 15 from the morning till half the day. The Chamisa Mipaga Yuma Leurta. And 15 from half the day until what? Until Shkia. And when do you bring a carbon Pesach, guys? After Chatzais, right? So 15 mil, that's the Rechaika, because that's the Zman you're going to bring. Ula Tamei, this is Ula according to his reasoning. Ula, Ezehu Derech Rechaika, Kol She'en Yachal Likones B'Shas Shchita. Anyone who's not able to go ahead, what? And reach B'Shas Shchita. If you can't reach B'Shas Shchita, you consider Derech Rechaika. Not Shas Achila, Shas Shchita. In other words, again, no, but usually it's usually a normal person. You're normal. You're not speaking about speed merchants. Elbit, Golden Wheels to Benya. Amamar. Me'alois ha'shaycha aretz ha'chava, chamisha mila minala. And how do you know from Alois till Nate's is 5? The Chsiv, it says when Lot was escaping the destruction of Sodom, it says, since you would have mass hash, we haven't heard a sneeze. You know that? Like some attacking. Ukimoy hashacha ola the Yitzra Malachim. The shacha was coming up, and the Malachim they were engaging Lot to get a move on it. Uksiv Hashemesh Yotza ala Aretz. That's Nate's. The Loit Batzar Loit came Tsar. So guys, Ukimoy hashacha ola Alois hashacha, and they were moving him, and then as soon as he got the Shemesh, the sun came out. So from Alois to the Shemesh is 5 mil. That's what we're going to see right now. The load came to Tzar. V'Omar Reb Chanina l'didi chazali ahu asra. I saw that distance. V'chamisha milin, and that's chamisha milin. So he knew from Alois till Nates is 5, and we know what from Shkia till Tseis is 5 is 10. The rest of the day is 30 in between. We divided it up from the time you can be in the current Pesach, and then we're going to bring what to 15. Yeah.